Yeah, yeah, yeah. Roll up the green, hit the links with RGB. Pitch, putt, and puff, it's our podcast scene. Talking Burt and Bogies, hole in one dream. Golf cart cruising, we're the illest team. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Got my clubs in the trunk, blunt in the front. Tee off in the noon, cause we don't bunt. Discuss in the course, weed strains for lunch. Straight shooters on the greens, not a front. Pitch, put and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Smoking aces, laces tied tight. With a puff we fly, elevate the night. Golf ball soaring, higher than a kite. Fairway to heaven, shining real bright. Pitch, put and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff.
And welcome back to another episode of the Pitch, Putt, and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Before we get rolling, we got to give a shout out to a few sponsors. Starting off with our guys over at Mulligan Wear. Go check out my man John over at Mulligan Wear. Check him out on Instagram, Mulligan Wear _ on Instagram. Click the link in the bio. Go check out his polos, hats, hoodies. He's got it all for you. Just dropped a new line of polos. Use promo code PUFF10 to save yourself 10% at checkout. Make sure you click the link in the bio, Mulligan Wear _ awesome fire material, great cost. So go check them out and save yourself another 10% at using PUFF10 at Mulligan Wear _ click the link in the bio, take you right to the link. Also check out the guys over at Athletic, ATHLETHC.com. Go check them out. They have the 2 milligram mints. They have the power, the flow, the rebound, something to eat through every point of your day. So make sure you guys go and check them out over at Athletic, ATHLETHC.com. Use promo code PUFF. Find yourself a special discount over there as well. And now we got to talk about the guys, the leaders in the CBD world. We got Back Nine Botanicals, where you can get your Birdie Boost, your Moonlight Mulligan. They got the muscle and joint stick for any aches and pains. They got the THC shooters, the orange, the passion fruit, and the strawberry as well, the 10 milligram THC shooters. Back Nine Botanicals always coming out with something new. Go check them out, back9botanicals.com. Use promo code TPUFF10 to save yourself 10% at checkout. And last but not least, we got our guy Marty over at Trouble Off the Tee, troubleofftetee.com. Use promo code PUFF20. Got a fresh line of hats. You got Scratch Golfer, Never Lay Up, Camel Chasing, I'll Go Alone, and Golf of America. Go check them out, troubleofftetee.com. The second book will be out soon, but while you're waiting, make sure you go check out the first one, troubleofftetee.com. Also, the book is available on Spotify and Audible. Use promo code PUFF20. PUFF20 will save you 20% at checkout. We're back at it here on the Pitch Putt Puff. Took a little break last week with the holiday and such. Did a little collab episode with Upstate that I had a little trouble uploading, so unfortunately we didn't get that out there. But busy week. As you guys know, I've had Florida Mike on the podcast a few times, my co-host on Conspiracy Chaos. He was up here this week. Got a chance to meet him in person and get a couple of rounds of golf in. It was a lot of fun. It was cool to see him experience the New York grass, the upstate New York grass, the Northeast. He's used to that Bermuda grass down in Florida, so a little bit different for him coming up here in the chip-in, putting. Everybody else he kept saying is everything's so green, it's so green. So a lot of fun, a lot of fun to link up with him and get a chance to get some golf in. Even linked up with the Helium crew, popped up to Madam Jane's up in Schenectady. They had a little pop-up just the other day, so we had a chance to pop out there. He got a chance to meet those guys, experience some of the Cowboy Lemonade, the DNA. They're soon to be out, Strawberry Chocolate, and a few others. So keep an eye out for what the Helium's got coming out. But it was really cool to see Florida Mike to get the New York experience. We made a pop out for dinner. We went down to DeFazio's restaurant in Troy, one of the top rated pizza joints in the 518, if not the top rated. Barstool gave them a great review. So really cool night hanging out with Florida Mike. That was Thursday night. We rolled back onto the course Friday morning. We had 16 guys, 4 pitch putt puff guys, me, Bogey, Fairway and Hank, and a lot of the Golf Week Tour guys. They were, a few of them were prepping for the weekend ahead, going up to Crump and Fox, but we had 16 guys out there. Pretty good mix of guys. Let's see who won that. Bogey Bub ended up taking that one. Took home some cash. He had a skin on that, as well as taking home the prize. So Bogey Bub continues to take in the cash when it comes down to it. He's been playing really good golf though, so well deserved. And him and Big Mike. Big Mike's been playing just a little bit now. He's a former tennis player, state worker. Anthony and them guys know he's played with the Pitch Putt and Puff a couple times as well. But I shot his low round of his career and ended up taking home some cash. So always good to see. But yeah, a lot of fun out there. Florida Mike and company. Really glad he got to experience upstate New York, and hopefully we'll be making our way down to Florida once the cold weather hits up here and see what the golf is like, what the golf is all about down there. So with not doing any podcasts last week, going to recap you a little bit on the 4th of July round. Big weekend for that. We had a huge weekend on the 4th of July. We had 32 guys out there. Really fun event. It's cool for me because it's a mix of the guys I grew up with, the old school guys, and then the current guys I'm out there golfing with and such. So a lot of competition. Some really good golfers, some guys who've been doing it for a long time, some guys are just getting started. So the mix we have is really good. So the score does come into a huge factor. One of the guys who's a phenomenal golfer ended up shooting a 68. So pretty much anybody who got it paired up with him for the most part was going to take home the cash. He had a 68 with about 4 birdies and an eagle. So the guy was playing lights out. He ended up winning, took home some skins. We did a little bit of a putting competition, whoever had the lowest putt. So there's a lot of things mixed into the 32 guys, a lot of opportunities to take home some cash. I believe Hank and Bub were the Pitch Putt and Puff guys who walked away with a little bit of cash that day. So taking home a few skins. And then we rolled it into Sunday with the 8 guys, regular crew. And once again, I think we had Hank and Bub taking home the cash on last weekend's round. Don't believe I have the scorecards right here in front of me, but another great round by Bub. Hank's been shooting in the mid to high 80s consistently. The one guy I'd like to talk about though is Fairway. Fairway literally took a piece of my advice a couple weeks ago. I said, Mike, just go back to doing what you're doing. And honestly, the past week and a half, 2 weeks, he's been locked in. The guy's been playing some really good golf, getting his scores back down to where they should be. A couple rounds in the 80s this past week. Flirted with the 91, I believe he had today. So Fairway really turning the corner and not waiting for next season to get it figured out. He's got it all figured out as we're going here into mid-July. So we got out there today, Pitch Putt and Puff crew. We reminded Scrounge, but Mikey made an appearance today filling in. Scrounge is up there with Anthony and company up at Crump and Fox. So, and Scrounge up there, yeah, Anthony, Florida Mike, the rest of the crew, Johnny Two Gloves, the whole squad. So this week we had, it was myself, Mikey rode together. We had Bub and Money Mealy made an appearance. Those two were battling, which I'll get into shortly. Hank was out there with Kev, Parisi, and Fairway Mike. Pretty solid round from everybody today. Parisi got to the course a little bit late, so felt a little rushed. I can see right by his scorecard, got off to a double start, so not Parisi-esque golf right there. Took him a few holes to get warmed up. About the 6th, 7th hole, he started playing some regular golf, but didn't really translate into the back nine. Wow, I'm looking at the scorecard. This is not Parisi type golf, so I'm not going to bust his chops too bad, or maybe I should. But we'll start off with this group. Not the best front nine. Parisi did manage to pull out a 43 on the front. Kev with a 47, Fairway 46, Hank with the 45. Parisi with the lone birdie on 7 out of that group and ended up taking on a skin. Also, let's see. That's only birdie on this card. But I want to say Kev golfed today. Kev played some golf. Kev shot at 89, 47 on the front, but really rebound on the back, putting together a 42. Ended up with the 89. Fairway Mike, man, 46, 45, just keeping around them. That bogey got that 44, 45 round. And I think he'll continue to go in the right direction here as we start to close out the second half of the season. Also, let's see, Hank. Yeah, so Hank, same thing. Hank's been playing pretty consistent. He ended up with 45, 45. Friday, I played Hank and I match on Friday. When you play Hank in a fucking match in our league, the guy is unbeatable. There's no room for error. He just pumps the ball straight down the fairway, doesn't miss a lot of putts. You really need him to make a mistake, which does not happen, in order for you to really have a chance against the guy. It's nuts. He just constantly boom, boom, boom down the fairway, never in trouble, never behind a tree. Every once in a while, he'll top one or shank one, but it's like one out of every 60 shots. So most of the time, you don't see that in a round, especially in a match when you're playing Hank. So shout out to Hank for taking. I think it came down to the last hole, but he still got me on Friday. Second half, I always look forward to the second half in the Friday league. Usually when I start to make some noise. But we're gonna get into our group here. Me and Upstate Mikey got a chance to get Upstate Mikey out there for the second or third time with the crew. Poor guy's been so busy with work and everything else. He's finally got some Saturdays off, so hopefully we see him on a few more Sundays. Mikey put together 47. Now I'm gonna take full accountability for this. I fucked this kid up. He's off to a great start. He was going into the 8th hole. I'm like, Mike, you keep it cooking, man. You got a really good round going. And as soon as I said that, my man went double. I was like, dude, I am so 3 doubles in a row, actually. So I jinxed his ass. But once he got it back together, took my bullshit out of his head, he put it back together, shot himself a 96. Really good round for Mike. I mean, last year, Mikey was flirting in the 105s, the 110 range, certain rounds. And this year, I can see a different golfer in him. Not only has he changed a few things, added some distance to his shots, accuracy around the fairway was phenomenal today. Not too many times he found himself in trouble whatsoever. The 16th hole, he shanked one a little bit right and found trouble. On the 16, had a bit of a little slice to his shot, hit the cart path, rolled just on the edge of the trees. So he had a little bit of trouble there. But those were the shots last year where Mikey was finding himself a lot. This year, he was putting himself in good position to score, putted lights out, chipped through well. He ended up with a birdie on the 5th hole. Unfortunately, Money Mealy decided to birdie that hole as well, so they wiped out both their skins. But yeah, Mikey battled back and ended up with a 96 overall. So good to see him going in the right direction as well. Really good round from Mikey. Overall, just ball striking, putting, chipping, like everything he was doing, I seen improvement on, and I seen a lot less stress. That he was just out there having fun today, which was great to see. I know the guy's been working like a maniac, dealing with a lot of shit off the course and such. So it's good to see him out there just locked in, having fun. And we had a good group today. It was like I said, me, him, Bogey Bub, and Money Mealy out there, which were, 2 of the better guys that we golf with. They were having their own little competition, and it was kind of fueling me and Mikey to play, lock in and play some good golf as well. Getting into my score, I ended up with a 42 on the front. Ended up with my only double was on the 5th hole. Caught myself in a little bit of trouble. Where did I go on 5? I didn't go. Oh yeah, I shanked. I tried to play it safe, go with the hybrid for the second time I've ever went hybrid off of the tee on the gully hole. Teed it up a little too high. When I do that, I have a tendency to pull the ball left. So I ended up shanking one in the woods, costing myself a double. That was my only double on the front. I doubled. Let's see. I got 5, 14, and 18. So 3 doubles on the day, 45 on the back. Ended up with 87. I'll take that. 2 strokes off. I like to go to the course with my mindset of shooting an 85. Puts me right where I want to be with some room for improvement as always. But putted pretty well today. Short game's really been picking up. I found a nice little touch. Shout out to Mike, though. Helped me out with the driver a little bit, getting a little bit more of a tilt in my swing to add some elevation so I don't have to worry about the tee box on the 3rd hole, blasting the front of that or skipping them off the ground like I do sometimes. But no birdies on my card. Now let's get into the match today, really. the match within the match. Bogey Bub and Money Mealy. These two were battling it out. Now, Bub normally doesn't play good when Dan's around because he wants to beat him so bad. I know the feeling. I kind of do the same thing when I'm out there with my buddy Neil. It's the guy, kind of taught me how to golf and really introduced me to the game. So you always want to come out on top when you're playing, show them how that you got good and you kind of can hang. So interesting thing looking at Bub's card right now, there's no birdies for Bub, which is very uncommon, especially when he shoots such a good round. He went 37 on the front, was on fire, chipping, putting. He was putting some of the best putting I've seen out of Bub all season by far. 37 on the front. Dan followed that up with a 38. He had the birdie on 5, as I mentioned. Got off to a good start. Those guys were pretty much even, back and forth down the stretch. Bub ended up with a par on 7. Mealy finished up with a bogey, so that's where the difference was on that hole. And then we roll it to the back, and I said to Mike, I said, dude, you're gonna see a different golfer in Mealy right now. He goes, what do you mean? I go, money's gonna turn on. I go, these guys probably got side action going on. I go, there's pride in this. There's trash talking in this. I go, this is gonna be different. And sure enough, first hole, the 10th hole, bogey blast went down the middle. It's a great shot, about 280 out. Mealy goes, all right, what do I got to beat? Sees it, beats it by 5 yards. Bub hits a good chip shot up, a little to the right. Money Mealy sees it, boom, sticks it, almost eagles it, about 6 inches. He's got to tap in birdie. So it starts the back of the bird, and bogey's head a little bit. He ends up with a bogey. This is where it starts to slip. We go to the par 5 11. You got bogey Bub, ends up a little bit of trouble, ends up getting himself a bogey on that hole. Dan follows up with a par. We go into the 12th hole, par for Bub. Add another birdie for Money Mealy, stuck another one close. The guy's putting skills are tremendous. He locks in. I don't even think he really looks at the green, but he's got the touch, and that's where he really makes up a lot of strokes. So now he's 2 under after 3. So I go to Mike. I'm like, Bub's really got to lock in here, and he does. He, par. He's matching him pretty much down the stretch. Ends up gaining a couple on the 17th hole, and it gains one more on. No, he doesn't, because Dan ended up parring that. So overall, 43 for Bub on the back, and Dan stayed consistent with that 40, 80 to 78. And that was a lot of fun watching those two really battle it out today. Two great golfers, and really battled, like literally locked in. Like it was good to see. Like it was fun to see Dan when they made the turn and Bub was a stroke ahead. I knew that he was not going to let that happen. He's like, all right, I got to figure this out. I'm going to really lock in. And he did. Once he did, it was pretty much a wrap. And those two battled it out down the stretch. But when it came down to pulling the cards, made it pretty interesting. But, everybody's always concerned when we have a guy like Mealy play with such a low score. But now we got guys like Bub and Jay who can match it in the same ballpark. It makes it a little interesting when pulling scores. So today we had the first team polled, we had Kev and Fairway, 89-91. Followed up by Parisi and Mikey, 95-96. So I really think a big factor of Parisi's score today was him getting to the course a little bit late. We had an earlier tee time than normal. I pulled up pretty much at tee time as well, as out late. Shout out to my buddy Gleet for 40th birthday party last night. Great time over there to get to see the crew, and the homies from Texas came up for the day. The other team that normally, this is the team that wins it when they get pulled together, it's Hank and Bub, but 90 and 80 score was just not enough today with my 87 and Money Mealy's 78 was to take home the cash. Taking home some skins, Money Mealy had 2. He finished with birdies on 10 and 12. And our guy Parisi grabbed a birdie on the 7th hole. So overall, another great round, great weekend. The pitch, putt, and putt. Going to try to get 3 tee times next week. I know the Upstate Golf guys will be back in town, so we'll try to get Ant and Scrounge and the crew back on from the tour. I'd love to get Mikey and Kirk and really get around with the whole crew in. We haven't had that pretty much all year. A good solid outing with the crew. It's been a while. We've had a mix and match of guys throughout the season, so to get the full 12 together would be pretty dope. If I can get the 4th to get Ant-Man and company, Charlie and such out there, we could definitely do that. But it's just such tough with tee times right now. The course has been jam-packed every day, all day. But it's in amazing shape, looking beautiful. Really excited to lock it in. I apologize for the delayed episode recapping the 4th and such. Had a busy week, but great week overall. Shout out to Florida Mike. Really appreciate you coming up, homie. Shout out to the Helium boys for taking care of us and giving Florida Mike the real New York Canna experience with the Helium Collective, getting his hands on some Cowboy Lemonade, which he's heard so much about, obviously from me as a huge fan favorite, and as well as the DNA. Yeah, overall great weekend. I hope those guys had fun up at Crump and Fox. I haven't really got a chance to talk to them yet, but I'm pretty sure we'll hear about that when I get Anth and Mikey on. I'm going to try to have them on this week to recap Mike's experience in upstate New York, as well as hopefully I can get upstate Mike or 518 Mikey back on. It's been a while since we heard his voice, and having him out on the course today was a great time. Always fun hanging out with the homie Mikey. But a lot of fun today. Great golf overall. Watching Bub and Bogey Bub and Money Mealy battle it out down the stretch was a lot of fun. And trying to keep it, I said this to Bub at the 7th hole, man. I said, yo, I'm playing pretty good today, and I'm still like 3 strokes back from you guys. Like, there's not much more I can really do. Like, I can't make a mistake at that point. So a lot of improvement to do on my part. But it's always fun to see when these guys are, like, especially Bogey Bub, really picking up his game this year and taking the next step, man. Every year he's taking a little bit, going in the right direction, which is dope to see. And shout out Fairway, man. Keep battling and keep playing your game and stop trying to change shit up. And the scores are correlating to the scorecard. Unlike some of your practice doesn't correlate to the course, but what you're doing now is definitely correlating to the scorecard. And once again, I truly appreciate everybody tuning in to the Pitch Putt Puff podcast. Make sure you guys go check out our sponsors, Mulligan Wear at @MulliganWear_ on Instagram. You got Athletic, ATHLETHC.com, BacknineBotanicals.com, and also Trouble Off the Tee. Make sure you guys go and support them. Promo codes are all in the front of the episode. Looking forward to having the boys on. Got a few guests lined up for the end of the month. The summertime is a little bit harder with guests, correlating people are on vacation, family shit and such. So stay tuned. I'll keep it coming, but I appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.
Pitch, putt, and puff, it's our podcast theme. Talking Burton Bogies, hole in one dream. Golf cart cruising, we're the illest team. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Got my clubs in the trunk, blunt in the front. Tee off in the noon, cause we don't bunt. Discussing the course, weed strains for lunch. Straight shooters on the greens, not a front. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up.